The top 5 scariest movie sex scenes. Number 5 is the drill penis from Tetsuo the Iron Man. Now, that's all I should have to say in order for it to qualify to be on the list. Am I wrong? I mean, right there, you already know too much and probably have no interest in knowing much more, but I'm going to tell you. So, Tetsuo the Iron Man is a classic example of industrial horror and also body horror. And body horror has had a real uptick in popularity recently after the film The Substance, and a few others came out that have definitely made this a rebranded genre of horror. Now, back in the 80s, it was the thing because we had David Cronenberg at the top of his game, making films like The Fly, Scanners, Dead Ringers. This was a real weighty genre, and one of the most graphic and disturbing of them was this Japanese film, Tetsuo the Iron Man. Sort of a low-budget film that also, like I said, plays into the industrial horror realm. Another genre that has kind of never taken off in the mainstream, but has lived in the world of independent cinema for a long time. Films like Darren Aronofsky's first film, Pi, also David Lynch's debut, Eraserhead. Both of these are classic examples of industrial horror. And when industrial horror meets body horror, we get something so freaky, you'll never be able to shake it. Not only is the imagery disturbing, it's the mood of the movie. And I always find moody, atmospheric horror to be the most intense to watch. Number 4, we're given to Antichrist.
What frightens you?
Now, Lars von Trier is one of the masters of modern cinema. Also somebody who toys with body horror and with just a feeling of atmospheric dread. The film opens with this intense scene. It's a sex scene between Willem Dafoe and his wife. Why I can't remember the actress's name right now, I don't know. But it's basically set to this gorgeous classical music, and while we're watching them, which by the way, it is a real scene, there was body doubles used for the more close-up elements, but there is actual sex in this scene, adding to just sort of the gravity of it and making it very intense. We are watching their baby walk through the apartment and ultimately fall out of the window to his death. It's scary on a level that I think humans would feel this is probably the worst thing that could ever happen. And sort of intercutting it with connection and pleasure and a husband and wife coming together is a really fantastic and artistic choice. Von Trier is, like I said, one of the geniuses of our time. Unfortunately, his personality is a little strange, and some of the things he says are outlandish and have gotten him barred from film festivals.
I understand Hitler.
And as we know, a lot of times genius and madness are close companions. Number 3 is Irreversible. Speaking of just feeling dread, Irreversible, I don't think there's any other film that has ever made me feel a sense of dread the way this movie does. They do say that there are low frequency tones throughout the film that actually add to the feeling of nausea while you're watching it, because that's what we all want, nausea. But Gaspar Noé is another voice, much like Von Trier, that is so distinct and is one of those people that when he makes a film, it's unlike anything else you've ever seen. It's so beatnik and so original and usually very disturbing. And none is a better example than Irreversible. Irreversible basically tells a story of revenge in reverse, and it's quite actually similar to a film that came out around the same time in 2001, Christopher Nolan's Memento. This film, though, amps up the graphic nature of the revenge, and there is a horrific SA scene. I'm not going to say the words for YouTube's sake. That goes on for nearly 10 minutes, and many people would argue this scene is unnecessarily long and graphic and maybe self-indulgent. And I, on the other hand, see what was going on in Gaspar Noé's brain. What he wanted to do was really, really ground this moment in reality and disgust us. And in my world, I actually believe it's more understandable to create a scene that is grounded in reality and very graphic than it is to just play it off in a cheap way to not upset people. Because if you're going to deal with upsetting subject matter, it should be presented as an upsetting thing. It should bother you. It shouldn't be watered down for us. You know, in a classic Hollywood film, a scene like this, they would probably cut away before anything gets too graphic. And instead, we see every single moment. But again, this is the reaction we should be feeling when we're seeing scenes like this. Number 2, it's necromantic. Now, the whole idea of this film right away, it's almost comical how insane this film is, but it basically deals with necrophilia, which I think belongs on any list of weirdest horror sex scenes or scariest scenes. And there is a moment in this film where a character ties a lead pipe to a dead body's appendage and then proceeds to engage with the body. And that alone, I mean, we already had the drill penis, but this is like another level. If you like this list, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Let me know the scariest sex scene in a horror movie you've ever seen, or just scariest sex scene, period. Yeah, I'll be interested to know your takes. Number 1, probably one of the more accessible movies on this list, but definitely the strangest scene I think I've ever seen, and I'll just never forget watching it for the first time. It's David Lynch's Blue Velvet, the Baby Wants Blue Velvet scene.
Baby wants to fuck.
Now, there's so much going on in this scene that it's almost hard to fully grasp it the first time you watch it, because a major tone shift happens when this scene comes on. Previous to this scene, we're kind of watching, I don't want to say a lighthearted film, but it definitely lives in like a more teen mystery place. And once we get Dennis Hopper on the screen and we see how brutally awful his character is, the entire tone of the film changes, and it's part of what makes it so brilliant. But basically, Dennis Hopper's character, Frank Booth, has kidnapped Isabella Rossellini's family and is forcing her to have sex with him in this very disturbing manner, by holding her family ransom if she doesn't go through with it. And the scene, so slow, Hopper is so creepy in it, and then he starts doing this freaky baby mommy role play thing, and on top of that, he's like breathing nitrous oxide and just like losing his fucking mind. And it is one of the most uncomfortable things to watch